Okay, I just asked you to create a database. That's it. So anyone created any database? Right. Okay. So yesterday we have seen how to create. Okay, how to create database, how to create a table, how to insert records in the table. Okay. So what is a management studio? How to install management studio? What are the shortcuts to open the management studio? These things and all we have discussed, right? So what is the shortcut to open the management studio?
SSMS.
SSMS. Okay. So now I have a question for all of you. Okay. I have installed SQL Server 2012. I have installed SQL Server 2012. Okay. And I have installed SQL Server 2017 in my machine, in the same machine. Okay. So now I'm using SSMS shortcut to open the SQL Server Management Studio. When I install SQL Server 2012, I'll get one Management Studio. For 2017, I have to explicitly install, okay, Management Studio again. So when I type SSMS in the shortcut, which Management Studio will open? 2012 Management Studio or 2017 Management Studio? 17. Got my question right? So I have two Management Studio in my machine. Two Management Studios are there in my machine. I just typed for both Management Studio, the shortcut is SSMS only. Okay. Yes, Rajesh, I gave you the recording permissions. You can record the session. Okay. For both Management Studios, the shortcut is SSMS only. When I type SSMS, which Management Studio will open? You can guess it. Okay. No issues. No issues. Anyone can guess it. Or else I will ask you to guess. Yes, Mani, which Management Studio will open?
2017, sir.
Okay. And Ram? Oh, sorry. Madhavi?
2017, sir.
Okay. Anil?
2017 because of it is higher version.
Okay. Anthony?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Which Management Studio will open if I type SSMS?
I'm not sure.
Okay, fine. Fine. Rajesh? Just guess it, okay? Okay. Ritesh?
Uh,
Which Management Studio will open if I type SSMS? I have two Management Studios in my machine. If I just open SSMS, which Management Studio will open? Right? Okay, fine. So the answer here is which SQL server you installed first. Okay, which SQL server you installed first.
2012.
Yeah. So if you install SQL Server 2012 first, then SSMS shortcut will be assigned to SQL Server 2012. If you install SQL Server 2017 first, then SSMS shortcut will be set up for the 2017. So it depends on which instance you installed first, then that instance Management Studio will open, right? And I have one more question. Same question. I have SQL Server 2012 in my machine. I have SQL Server 2017 in my machine. I just connected using, okay, Management Studio. So I just opened SQL Server 2012 Management Studio. Can I connect 2017 instance in the 2012 Management Studio? I have 2012 Management Studio. I have 2017 Management Studio. Okay, that is fine. But I have opened 2012 Management Studio. Can I connect my 2017 instance in 2012 Management Studio?
Yes, we can able to connect.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can connect, right? So any issues if I connect my 2017 instance using 2012 Management Studio? Okay, so the answer is yes, you can connect. Okay, the answer is yes, you can connect using 2012 Management Studio. But the problem is, if any new features are there in the 2017, the higher version features are not visible in the lower version Management Studio. The same question I'll ask like this: can I connect my 2012 instance in 2017 Management Studio? Earlier, can I connect my 2017 in 2012 Management Studio? Now, can I connect my 2012 instance in 2017 Management Studio?
No, we cannot.
We cannot. Okay. Anyone, any other answer? Can I connect my lower version instance in the higher version Management Studio? 2012 instance in the 2017 Management Studio.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Karthik, okay, fine. Let me give you the recording permissions for you. Okay. So any issues will come if I connect like that? If I connect my lower version instance in the higher version
Lower
Management
only,
Studio.
nothing will be happen. From higher to lower only, it's the problem will create.
Okay, fine. Okay, so when I connect my higher version instance in the lower version Management Studio, I cannot use the new features of higher version instance. Say for example, 2008 instance is there, 2012 instance is there. In 2012, we have a great feature called always on. Okay, Microsoft introduced always on feature. I'll tell you, there is a separate session on always on. Microsoft introduced always on from SQL Server 2012 onwards. Okay, so when I connect my 2000, let me mute you all. Okay, fine. If any questions are there, just unmute and ask me. Right. So if I connect my 2012 instance in 2008 Management Studio, I cannot make use of this always on feature. The answer is yes, you can connect the instance in any Management Studio, lower version to higher version to lower version. If you connect your lower version instance in the higher version Management Studio, no issues will come. Lower version instance in the higher version Management Studio, no issues will come. But higher version instance in the lower version Management Studio, higher version instance in the lower version Management Studio, you cannot able to see the higher version features in the lower version of your Management Studio. Okay, so the answer is lower version to higher version is possible with no issues. Higher version to lower version is also possible, but you cannot see the new features of higher version in the lower version of Management Studio. Right. What is the command to create the database?
Create database.
Create database.
Database
Database
name.
name.
Very good. Okay. So Saujanya, I guess you don't have chance to record. Okay. I guess you, okay, you joined from the laptop, right? Okay. You can record now. Right. So query is create database name. Okay. And what are the shortcut keys to execute the query? What are the
F5
shortcut
alt
keys?
X and execute.
Very good. Okay. F5 Alt X and execute button. You have to use any of these three. So F5 Alt X and execute. So will allow you to execute the query and all. Before executing the query, what we have to do actually? What are the precautions that
We
we have
have
to take?
to we have to select the database which in which database you are creating this.
Okay, very good. So for example, I want to create a new database. Which database I have to select now?
For database, no need to select, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay, so usually it will be connected to master. Okay, master database only. So if you are doing anything, creating databases and all, no need to select any database. Usually, if you select any database also, that is not an issue. Okay, the query will execute successfully. Okay, but whenever you are creating any new objects like tables, okay, any other things, and if you are trying to insert the records and if you are trying to read the data from the table, then what you have to do is make sure you just connect it to the proper database, and make sure whenever you're running any scripts and all, whenever you're creating any new objects and all, make sure on which database you are running the scripts, and make sure on which database you are creating the new objects and all, right? Fine. So whenever you do anything, whenever you create any new objects, usually what we have to do, you have to refresh it. Okay, then only you can see the new objects and all, right? So how to see the records in the table? How to see the records in a table? There is one table called employee. Now I want to see the records in that employee table.
Select star from employee.
Okay, so we can,
Start from
yeah, we can use the query called select star from employee, right? So yesterday we have created an employee table and we have inserted some records in that employee table. So let me, okay, pull out the data. Let me retrieve the data from the employee table. Okay. So here what I'll do, my employee table is there in the employee database. So I have to open a connection from the employee database. You can open in two ways. Either you can select here, or else you can use query employee. Okay, use the database name. So once you just run this query, automatically a connection will be opened from the employee database, and you can run the select query, select star from employee. So this is my table, and a suggestion will come. Simply select that suggestion while typing the table name, and you can see these are the records. So if I want to see all the columns, what keyword I have to use, or what symbol I have to use?
Star.
Star. Okay, so star means, if you mention star here, means you can see all the columns in a table. Now I want to filter only a specific column. Say for example, I want to filter all the employee names. How to do that one?
Select employee name from employee.
Where
Okay, select employee name from employee, and select employee name from employee where someone is saying something, where condition. Okay, so if you want to see any specific column, simply mention that column name. That's it. Okay, select employee name. Okay, from employee table. Okay, just what and all columns you want to see, just mention that column name. Automatically, you can filter the, okay, specific data in the table. So, for example, now I want to filter employee ID and employee name. Now,
Employee ID and employee name from employee.
very good. Okay, so employee ID, comma, okay, employee name from the table. What and all columns you want to filter, or else what and all columns you want to retrieve, simply you just include that column names instead of star. Star means all columns. Actually people will say that star means all the records, but of course logically, if you select all the columns, means all the records will come, right? So star means all the columns, not all the records. Star means all the columns. Automatically once you open all the columns, all the records will come, right? So if you want specific columns and all, remove the star, and whatever columns you want to include, simply, okay, use that column names and all to filter the data, so that it will only pull the specific columns in the output. Okay, fine. Right. Now what I want to do is, I want to, okay, filter the employees information, those who are drawing more than 8 lakhs package. I want to filter the employees, those who are drawing or getting more than 8 lakh salary. Now what I have to do?
Select salary from employee where salary greater than.
Okay. So what we have to do, simply we have to use where conditions for that. Say for example, you have a table. Okay, now you want to pull out the data. I want to pull out the data where employee ID more than 5. Or I want to pull out the data where employee name is equal to Amani, or else like Anil. I want to pull out the data, those who are getting salary more than 8 lakhs. Okay. So for all these things, you can use where clause to filter the data. Now in my case, select star from employee. I want to get all the employees details, those who are getting more than 8 lakhs package, right? Select star from employee, where condition you have to write here, where salary you have to mention the column, okay, greater than 8 lakhs. Okay, if you don't have questions, please mute yourself. Right? So if you just mention like this, then automatically you can get the employees information. Rajesh is getting 8.5 lakhs, Mani is getting 9 lakhs, and Saujanya is getting 9 lakhs. So in this way you can filter the data. So as a DBS, we will not use more than this, mostly 99 percentage or else 90 percentage. Okay, we are going to use the where conditions, that's it. Okay, so sometimes in some organizations developer come DBA will be there, so that he has to write some scripts and all, he has to write some queries and all. But usually we will never write any queries, we will never write any scripts. Usually develop, I mean like dev team will be there or developer teams will be there, they are going to write the scripts and all. As a DBA we have to take the scripts and we have to execute those scripts, but we'll never get a chance to write the script and all. Okay, so DBA is somewhat safe when compared to developer. In the developer role you have to write lot of scripts and all, but whereas DBA no need to write that much of scripts. But again, if you have a good T-SQL knowledge, that will be helpful for you. So mostly we are going to use this single line queries only throughout our course. Okay, this is fine. What and all we discussed about T-SQL is fine. Okay, if you have anything, if you need anything, I am going to discuss it again. Okay, fine. Any issues, any doubts till now? Any issues? Right, so if we don't have any issues, then right, post installation, after installation of SQL server, what and all new things will be created in the Windows machine post installation, right? So once you install the SQL server, earlier while installing the SQL server we have discussed it, right? What and all things we have discussed, can we change the authentication mode from Windows to mixed mode authentication? Can we change the service account after installation? Can we change the collation settings after installation? These things and all we have discussed in the last class or installation classes and all. Right, now we have already discussed about the service account. Service account, what is the service account? Can anyone tell me how many types of service accounts are there? What is the service account?
We have two types of service accounts, like
uh,
Windows account, service account, and SQL service account.
okay, can anyone correct Anil? Right, so we have two types of service accounts: inbuilt service accounts, customized service accounts. And Anil, you are saying about authentication, Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication. Okay, that is different, this is different. Okay, authentication is different, service accounts are different. What is a service account first of all?
which helps to run the services.
Very good. So what actually it will do? What actually a service account will do?
It waits and write the data and it
Very good. So what is the roles and responsibilities of the SQL server? It has to store the data and process the data and retrieve the data. Store means how it is going to store the data. It has to write the data to the disk, right? Whenever it writes the data to the disk, then only the data is going to store permanently. Okay, and processing, whenever we need, say for example, now we just did small processing. If you see here, we just did small processing. If we want to retrieve the data more than 8 lakh salary, if we want to get the employee name only, if you want to get the employee ID only, so like this is and all processing. So who is doing all these things? Your service account. Who is writing the data to the disk? Your service account. Whenever you are running a select query, who is reading the data from the disk? Your service account. So service account is very important. Okay, reading the data, writing the data, reading the data from the disk, writing the data to the disk, and processing the data, everything will be done by the service account only. So usually service account is very important. We have two types of service accounts. One is inbuilt service accounts or default service accounts, and second one is customized service accounts. So if you go with inbuilt service accounts, can anyone tell me what is the famous inbuilt service account? Okay, local system. If you don't provide any service account, automatically SQL services will be run on local system. How to check it and where to check it? Where to check my service account? So if you go to configuration manager, that is one thing, or else if you see services.msc, just open services.msc. There also you can see on which service account, okay, your SQL services are running and all you can see here. Okay, let me open the services.msc screen. right? So just press yes. You can see all the services starts with yes. SQL service also starts with yes, right? So if you see here, just expand this window. Okay, there you can see log on as field. So this log on as field is your service account column. Okay, this log on as field is your service account column. Currently it is running on NT service account. Okay, NT service account and MS SQL. Usually we are going to call this as a virtual service accounts. But again, we have inbuilt service accounts like local system is famous priority. The famous service account in the Windows machine is local system. After that, local service and network service, we have different types of service accounts. But again, for from SQL Server 2012 onwards, if you don't give any service account, it will create a virtual service account with anti-service name. Okay, anti-service and instance name. Here you can see if you install default instance, I told you right, only at the time of connecting you are going to give the computer name. But in all other situations, in services, in configuration manager, in all other situations, and folders creation also will be done with the name of MS SQL Server. Okay, will be done with the name of MS SQL Server. So currently if anyone asks on which service account my SQL service is running, now you can say NT service MS SQL Server. This is the virtual service account. So it will be created at the time of installation. And also if you see here, right, how many services will come if you install a SQL Server?
6 services.
6 services. What and all 6 services?
I think aware services or unaware services.
Okay.
Because and
Okay.
browser, SQL Server agent.
Okay, fine. So for the SQL Server versions less than 2012, okay, for the SQL Server versions less than 2012, there will be 6 services will be created. Okay, so SQL Server database engine service, which is main service, database engine service, okay, and SQL Server agent service, okay, and SQL Server full text service. These are the specific services, full text service. Right, and we have shared services also. There are two types of services, specific services and shared services. Under shared services, what and all will come? Active Directory Helper, Active Directory Helper, VSS Writer, and your SQL Server browser service will come. Okay, so these and all services will come. Okay, if you install the SQL Server versions less than, okay, 2012. From SQL Server 2012 onwards, there will be only 5 services will come. Okay, you cannot see VSS Writer here. So if you want to see all the features, all the services, you can see here SQL full text service and SQL Server main service and agent service, browser service and VSS Writer service. These are the 5 services you can see here. Okay, you cannot see this Active Directory Helper service. Okay, but remaining all services you can see. Right, now I have a question. Okay, remember one thing, these are the shared services. Okay, so remove this shared service from SQL Server 2012 onwards, there is no such service, right? So usually 5 services will come from SQL Server 2012 onwards. 3 are shared and 2 are, sorry, 3 are specific services. These 3 are specific services and 3 are shared services, specific, right, and these 2 are shared services. Now tell me, if I install 2 instances, how many services will be there in my machine?
Same, same.
Again, repeated this twice.
Okay, just 1 minute, just 1 minute. So how many services will come? I have 2 instances, how many total services will come?
See, except this VSS writer, remaining all will come. From 2012 onwards, this VSS writer is not available, no?
No, 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 not VSS Writer, Active Directory Helper that I removed. Okay, so how many services will come? Can anyone tell me? Shared
Default one is named one.
one default one named one. So forget about default instance or named instance. I have two instances in my machine. Total how many services will be there in my machine now? For one instance, how many services will be there?
5.
5 services, right? In 5 services, okay, how many are shared and how many are specific services?
Specific are 3 services and shared are 2.
Shared means what? What is the meaning of shared services?
Once if install, it will automatically applicable for the next one, next
No need
instance.
to, so you will not get again shared services, right?
Yeah.
If you install 2 instances or 3 instances also, these two will exist only once per Windows machine. These two services will exist only once per Windows machine, even though you install multiple instances. Now tell me how many services will be there if you install 2 instances.
5 plus 3, 8.
That's it. Every time you have to add 3 more services. Why? Because we have three specific services, right? So usually if you install for the first time, 5 services will come. Again, if you install second instance, these two are already there. These are the shared services. Again, they are not going to install. Okay. And the 3 more specific services will come. So every time you have to add 3 services. Okay. Every time you have to add 3 services. Now tell me 5 instances are there. How many services will come? 5 instances are there. How many services will come? The simple logic is 5n plus 2. Okay. 5n plus 2. 5n plus 2. Plus 2. N means number of instances. 5 into how many instances? Sorry, not 5. 3n plus 2.
Oh, 3 plus 2.
Okay, 3n plus 2. Okay, how many instances? N means number of instances. How many instances? 5 instances. 3 into 5, 15 plus 2. 2 means these are the two shared services. So in that way you can
6, 17.
easily, okay, total how much? 15 plus 2, 17 services will come.
17.
So in this way you can easily identify. So how to identify the difference between a shared service and a specific service? Can anyone tell me? How to identify a difference between a shared service and a specific service? How to identify a difference between a shared and a specific service? Karthik?
Anti-services, maybe.
Sorry? If you see here, these are the 5 services, right? These are the 5 services. Any difference is there for these 5 services?
Service account is different.
Uh-huh.
No,
Okay.
service account.
That's it. Only service account you can see the difference.
Some are network service.
And server name MSSQL, MSSQL.
Very good. Okay. So for specific services, instance name will be there in the brackets. That means you can easily identify with the instance name. Shared services means what? On the shared services, if you're staying in the PG, okay, you will have your name on your plate. You will have your name on your things. But on the common things and all, you don't find any name, right? So if you have multiple instances, okay, the name will be there in the brackets. Okay, if you have multiple instances, the name will be there in the brackets. That means these are the specific services. If you see the name, okay, that means that is the specific service. If you don't see the name, these are the shared services. Okay, these two will exist only once per the Windows machine, not per the SQL server. These two services will exist only once per the Windows machine, but remaining specific features and all depends upon the number of instances they are going to exist. Okay, so like this it is going to work. Now clear? Any issues, any doubts? Right? So whenever you install SQL Server, 5 services will come from SQL Server 2012 and above. For SQL Server 2000, from SQL Server 2012, I mean like below SQL Server 2012 means SQL Server 2000, 2005, 2008, 8 or to 6 services will come. The extra service is Active Directory helper. Fine. Right. So now what kind of folders are going to create? what kind of folders are going to create. If you install SQL Server 2000 or else not only SQL Server 2000, any instance, what kind of folders are going to create in the machine. Okay, so once you install SQL Server, you can see, okay, in the C program files, there will be one folder called Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, in the C program files, if you install not only SQL Server, if you install, sorry, the meeting is going to close now. Let me reopen the meeting. Okay.